So, back after school. I came back about last week, and I said I haven't made a video since. So, I need to make one now. And recently, some of my friends have been asking me how I make my pads, and I decided that rather than just telling them and, being a normal fucking human being, I decided it would be a good idea to exploit their need for my help and turn it into a YouTube video because I need content right now. So today we're gonna be doing something that is actually useful, and I'm gonna show you guys how I make my pads. And without further ado, let's jump straight into this. So first of all, what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna get some random melodic sample. I'm just gonna get this random guitar loop. Yeah, we'll use this. Okay, so now we're gonna open up Fruity Granulyzer. Pretty underrated stock plugin in FL, pretty powerful, and it's really useful. I have no idea what I'm doing here, but what I do is that I turn random knobs until something works out, and that's exactly what we're gonna do today. So we're just gonna throw this in. We're gonna make some notes. Please note that right now we're not gonna be changing the key of the sample, so right now I'm leaving it in C so that it's gonna remain in the key of the sample we put, and right now it's in A. The sample is in A major, so this pad is gonna end up being in A major because I'm not gonna be changing the key right now. So what we're gonna want to do is we're gonna turn random knobs until something works out. So let's get started. So I've turned a bunch of random knobs, and let's see what that sounds like. Now let's be aware, this sounds like complete bullshit right now, but I'm gonna show you how I turn this into a pad with some simple post processing. First of all, we're gonna wanna EQ this a little. One is reverb, because it's a pad and it needs reverb. It needs the reverb. And we can turn this into like some sort of chord. And you just consolidate this, and you've got your pad, sort of. And usually I use better samples and more defined samples so we can get better results. So I'm just gonna replace this sample with something that isn't a guitar so that it doesn't sound like complete bullshit. So we're gonna see how that sounds. Holy shit, that sounds good. We are gonna do a bit more processing on this so we can get a nice, cool sounding pad. So we have ended up with a result that was at least 100 times better than what we had last time. So I'm just gonna consolidate this, and I'm gonna show you what the pad sounds like. So yeah, this is kind of how I make my pads. So just to show you how the processing that I did for this, the vocal kind of had a bit of high end, so I cut it out. I did a bit of eyeballing to remove some random frequencies I didn't really like. I used some reverb, obviously. I put up the decay, and I reduced the dry signal so that it sounds a bit softer on the ears. And I put up the wet and the decay, and I put up a little of delay for some effect, so that it sounds cool. And really, this sort of technique can be applied to any sort of melodic sample that you have. I can even try using it on a chord stack or a vocoded bruh, and it would probably work. And I'm not gonna do that in this video because I don't have the energy to do that. So we'll try with one more sample. I'll take a Cymatics synth loop. By the way, this video isn't sponsored by Cymatics. I'm just a lazy person, and we're just gonna drag and drop one. Oops. Okay, yeah, I like this one. You guys can already hear how fucking cool that sounds. And you can mess around with like the notes. As you can see, I put one in C5, which is like the normal sample in its unchanged form. Put one at the upper octave, which is C6, that I'm doing for the past two samples that we just played with. This is like the sample pitched up by an entire octave. So right now we have like sample layered with like, some sort of you'll get it, you'll get it. We could turn this into some sort of chord. So let's try and do that real quick. We'll see if we can, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a jiffy. Okay, so it turns out that there isn't really much I can do because I'm not sort of a music theory expert, and this sample is kind of very melodic on its own, so there aren't many chords you can make with it. But yeah, this is kind of how I make my pads. This technique, like I said, can be applied for any sample really, and it's not limited to just guitar or synth samples. You can even use it for some melodic basses or something. You can do whatever you want with it. This is just a really simple way of making pads that I use, and personally I find it fun because there's some samples that were originally very useless to me, and I could put them into pretty granulizer and make a pad out of them, and they certainly become useful. So I hope this video was educational or useful, serve some sort of purpose. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe, and if you don't, please keep your hate comments to yourself. For those of you who don't know, I just recently released a song with Pad, just used this very efficient method I explained in this tutorial, this short class tutorial. And I would really love if you went to go and check out the very classical song. It's called Celine, and the link will be in the description below. So it would be very kind of you to go check out the song. In other words, go fucking check out my music, you piece of shit. And that's all for this video. I hope you have a nice day. And with that being said, this is Daito, signing out.
Down like